Let me turn up my volume. Going live, going live, going live. Good morning, Ed Marine Dixon. Good morning, good morning. Let's hope our internet is good. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work this morning. Extra special big up shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to my Uber drivers, my Lyft drivers. Shout out to Nardo Wells. Shout out to Sonia Unstoppable. Thank you for being here. Shout out to the hardworking people this morning. Shout out to the retirees. Shout out to the entrepreneurs. Shout out to every single good-hearted person. Shout out to Nicole Bazaar. Thank you for being here. Shout out to every single good person, man. If you want good for others as much as you want good for yourself and you're just that kind of a person, you're not grudging nobody. You're not wishing bad for anybody. You just want good vibrations to flow. Then you're my kind of people. All right. Manners and respect, people. Big up on yourself. Thank you for being here. Yo, Rico, I thank you for being here. Nature Man, big up yourself. D. Richards, Tyrell Turner, I can't pronounce that name there. Audemars Chizzy, Stacy Deans, thank you for being here. Dentra Pearson, thank you for being here. There's so much going on right now. If I don't really call out your name, don't really say anything because you don't know. Let me post a link in here first before we get started. Let me see if I could get this link. Copy, paste, boom. All right, so I'm going to post a link in the computer right now, right? And what I need is a commitment from my audience that you will click that link and you will go over to that channel and you will support this sister's channel. I'm looking for 100. So I'm going to go check after we're done with the show this morning, which is an hour away. I am going to go check over there to see if I see 100 SouFLoTV sent me and her subscriber numbers moved up 100. The reason why is just that more than 100 of us are here and I want to lend support to this sister. It's a cooking channel, of course, but she incorporates her entire life into it. Let me pull out my spreadsheet this morning. As you go over there, you'll see it's called BLFTV. And in parentheses, it says Boss Lady Faina TV. So when you go over there, just hit the subscribe button. You can check out some of her videos if you have time. She over there cooks red pea soup and, you know, all these kind of stuff. Just Jamaican food, but the way how she cooks it has a different kind of a turn to it. You'll see when you get over there, her settings and all that. Big up to her. Big up to the brother, Troy Trucking, again. And shout out to there are one more set of YouTubers that I am really feeling their channel. And I thank you. Thank you, Dentra Pearson. Thank you so much. So I'm going to go over there and look. I need to see about 100 of us, just so I know that we're moving, you know what I mean, in the right direction, lending support to our own. We can do this, man. We can definitely do this. If one uplift another, then imagine how high we can go. You know what I'm saying? So there's Troy Trucking. I don't know if any of you guys have checked out his channel yet. Even if you're not into trucking, his channel is very interesting. I'm not into trucking, but my little brother, who of course passed away, and I talked about him before, trucking was his thing. It used to be watching this young person, because my brother was like 19 when he went into the trucking thing, and I used to see, so I still have all his pay stubs from after he passed, because after he passed, I packed up all his stuff and I have them, and I still haven't been able to like get rid of his stuff yet. So every now and then I go back into his stuff and go through his old pictures, and you know, just to make myself feel like some kind of a connection to somebody so dear that I have lost. And one of the things that did strike me was his pay stubs, and his pay stubs were huge. There's some hefty pay, and I'm trying to tell my brothers that, yo, in the trucking industry, not for on a day you're looking for a way, okay? And you're in something, but you're looking for a better way. Sometimes it comes by information like this. Just go check out the brother Troy Trucking channel. It's not one of those where it just fly by everything. I mean, he is detailed. His thing is up to par, like on a professional level, and good video quality, well-mannerable person. He doesn't use curse words, swear words. He's all about upliftment and teaching his own. and keeping it fun at the same time. So just go check out him thing. BLF TV, Boss Lady Fana TV. Please go support her channel. There's two sisters. I did a commercial for them before. I ran a couple of ads for them because I was trying to get people over to their channel. I'm very interested in it. My mind is running a different. I'll remember it in a minute, but I have a lot of things to talk about this morning. And I'm looking down at the paper while I'm trying to recall stuff. So work with me. Chairs and benches. Thank you. Who is that? Tariq HP. Thank you so much. It's Chairs and Benches TV. Those two sisters. Very educational channel. Informative and entertaining. They do some of everything over there, but very, very educational channel. You're going to learn some stuff over there that you did not know, and it's information that you can actually pass on to family members and friends to help them as well. All right, you see the headline this morning. The headline this morning says Jamaica will never be the same again after this. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Before I go there, I must say, big up to this brother for doing this. So I'm talking about DC Young Fly. And most of you probably don't know him, but if you're into comedy, and for those of you who probably have seen like Wild and Out or whatever, DC Young Fly is a comedian slash artist slash musical entertainer, and he has made it to some levels, right? Now, you remember the issue that Nick Cannon got into when he said what they said was the wrong things, and they pretty much pulled everything that Nick had going on Wild and Out. Yes, NK, thank you. So Viacom offered DC Young Fly 8 figures. I'm gonna read this to you. Viacom offered DC Young Fly 8 figures to host the reboot of Wild and Out. The first thing DC Young Fly said was, "Why are you hiring me to host it? I mean, I would be honored, but where is Nick?" You got to understand how this works, right? And this is on a broader message. This is us being pitted against us, and whoever is willing and ready to sell out will sell you out, right? So 8 figures. Now you got to think, $1 million has 6 figures, right? I'm no mathematician, but I'm sure say $1 million has 6 figures. If they're offering him 8 figures, that tells me that his millions is in the double digits, correct? All right, so they offered him 8 figures to host a reboot of Wild and Out. Now, Wild and Out has made millions and probably billions of dollars. Wild and Out is Nick Cannon's brainchild. The networks find Wild and Out to be so valuable and such a moneymaker and such a view bringer, such an influential show, that they want to keep Wild and Out, but they don't want to keep Nick Cannon on the scene. Now, this is his creation. They want his product, but they don't want to keep him on the scene anymore because he offended some people. What they did was they took somebody that Nick actually brought up from, like Nick Cannon went out there and really sourced who's hot, air to the streets. Let me give my people an opportunity that are out there trying, but are just not getting the break. So he went out there. He got people like Jess Hilarious. He got people like Nick Cannon. He even had Coffee on the show, right? Wild and Out says, Viacom says, listen, we want to keep the show, but we don't want Nick up front. So here's what we're going to do. 8 figures, you host the show. This is what DC Young Fly replied to them. He says, y'all ain't got enough money to make me cross a man that provided me with the kind of opportunities that Nick did. Drops mic. That's a solid brother. You understand? That's a solid brother. Okay, Nubian Ashanti says destroyed after what? Trick click. If you're not patient enough when you come here, then you also have the option to exit. Okay, I already said that I'm going to talk about that, but don't accuse me of any trick click or anything. I don't have to do trick clicks. If I'm going to speak for an hour, everybody who knows this show knows that I come with topics. I sit down, I do my research, respect me for that. So I'm going to just come on the channel and come talk, be a foolishness in your ears early in the morning. I sit down, I do my research, I put constructive stuff together. Understand the way the show is constructed. This is for people going out to work in the early morning who don't want to hear a bunch of foolishness in their ears early in the morning. They want to be uplifted. They want to be inspired. They want to be informed. This is how I want to be myself in the early morning. You got to start your day off right, like that. Later on, we'll do the foolishness, okay? So this is not a trick click. We're going to talk about it. And yes, Jamaica will never be the same again after this. So big up to all of you who was out in the streets in your orange and your green and whoa, yeah, I'm good up Prime Minister and whoa, yeah, and anything I said. Come off, I'm a Prime Minister now, man. You always are trying to make me look bad and all these things. And people are trying to show us these agendas from earlier, you know, and I kept saying I am for the Jamaican people. I am not for the land. Because a lot of Jamaicans only love the name Jamaica and they only like the land. They like the mountains, the beaches, the rivers, the food. Them don't like the people who cook the food. Them don't like the land, as in the people that are on the land. You know what I'm saying? So if you really have true love for Jamaica, then I'm talking about its culture. I'm talking about its longevity, survival. I'm talking about when we are gone, generations from now, our children are not thinking, let me fly into Jamaica for a visit because they own absolutely nothing there. When generations of your people have invested blood, sweat, and tears, this are yours, right? So we're going to get into that in a minute. I wanted to talk about Trump not accepting defeat and all these other things. I'm giving you the topics that we're going to be hitting on this morning. I want to talk about Trump not accepting defeat and what's going on in his cabinet and the madness that's about to happen with their million-man march. I want to talk about, let's get into this. Let's get into this. Cockpit country is what it is. So with no further ado, it has been okayed. I don't know if you remember last year when everybody was up in arms about cockpit country. But what I realize about my people is you're up in arms on social media, and that's about it. And you're not even up in arms to the right people. You just sit around and talk to each other. The same societies that rule and govern, they have online entities as well. Those are the ones you're supposed to be bombarding with your concerns. Let them know that you're concerned. Fill up their YouTube feed, their YouTube comment section, fill up their Instagram feed, fill it up with comments about how you feel about this thing so that they know that you're concerned. But when you have a bunch of people that go over there and say, yes, my good Prime Minister, thank you for doing so much, and we stand by you while everything is falling apart, then these people tend to think that they are doing what's right by the majority. And it's only a few of us that have problems with what they're doing. So it has been okayed now officially to start mining in cockpit country. Funny enough, the same day that that was printed, here comes another article that says Australian company strikes gold mining in Guyana. Somebody says, SouFlo, what am I mining for? What are they mining for? And my reply was, they're mining for anything that is valuable. I could have fossil. They're mining for anything that is valuable. If they find gold up there, if they find diamonds in there, if they find how you call it now? You know, like trinkets that belong to a certain era and time period. Believe it or not, artifacts. If they find artifacts in there, And we all know that artifacts are probably in there, because when the slaves were running away and burned down the island and was fighting for their freedom, they were living in places like cockpit country. And they chose those terrains because, not because, only because it was abundant in whatever they needed to survive while they were on the run. The topography of the place, the bushes, the mountains, the way the place is laid out. You have some place up in a cockpit country, if you walk too far, like I remember this man, this Karamanti man, which still lives in Jamaica his whole life, and he still speaks the Karamanti language. And I remember he said, yeah, a place over there so name, if me no send for you, don't come, or something like that. And they asked him why them name the place if me no send for you, don't come. And he gave a long explanation of our history, right? And only who know up there could go up there. Basically, the place is like this. If you go up there, it might look like you're walking on land, and then suddenly you fall over into a precipice. And they use these kinds of things to trick those who are trying to keep us enslaved and all this. So if anything, this should be a place that is off limits. But let's not talk about that. Let's not go back so far. Let me talk about the purpose of cockpit country. What cockpit, because a lot of people don't understand what cockpit country does for Jamaica and is to Jamaica. A lot of people don't know that cockpit country, uranium, anything they find in there. If they find gold, diamonds, silver, they could be up there looking for more bauxite, which of course produces aluminum, and we have aluminum everywhere in about everything. If they go up there and they find anything valuable, just know that Jamaica herself will not benefit to the larger degree from anything that's valuable up there. Worst case scenario is they will extract everything and then continue to tell us, yeah, we're still digging, we haven't found anything yet. Meanwhile, they're transporting out everything. That's just how I feel about that. Now, cockpit country, cockpit country is, if you think of the human body, I want you to think of cockpit country as the lungs, your lungs. For you to be able to breathe deeply and process oxygen. This is what cockpit country is for Jamaica. It is Jamaica's lungs. I'm baffled as to how. Like, the honesty of the Andrew Holness could have came out and said, listen, no need to do all the marching and protesting. The deal is done. We are going to be digging into cockpit country. Me sign it already. They let the people then march. And sadly, I was watching those marches. And of course, I wasn't a part of it because I'm not there on the ground. But I watched the people then march. And I compared the numbers who turned out to something as important as showing an opposition to mining in cockpit country. I watched that crowd turnout, and the crowd was so small that it really looked like it was just a group of local people walking down the street, just say in the hills, that just saying a couple of words, and nobody really cared. And then I compared that to when election time came and the crowds that were out in the streets, even under their COVID rules and regulations and guidelines, 6 feet apart, wear a mask. Look how many people were out in the street, no mask, embracing each other. There was no 6 feet apart, talking in each other's face. Yeah, my party I go win. No, my party I go win. Your party can't get no more years. But they're like this close to each other. Music playing, they're dancing in the street. But when it's time for them to turn up for something that they actually are going to be affected by in the long run, majority of them stay quiet. And it's the same people that stay quiet for stuff like this that will get on this channel and talk about how, here you go again with your negativity about Jamaica. Why you not talk about America? Why you not talk about something else? Why you all, what's your agenda? Why you always try to make me look bad? Like, really? The lungs of the country is about to be dug out. The lungs of the country is about to be dug out. Do you know what this means for our rivers and our streams and our waterfalls and our beaches? Do you know what this means for us? Let me tell you something. I don't know if I'm the only one that's paying attention, but don't y'all notice the amount of flooding that's taking place? And it's flooding when rain not even falling. Y'all don't notice that? The sea coming in for the land? Y'all don't notice that? Y'all know that we are a little island in the Caribbean Sea, right? So we surrounded 360 by water. So at any time, that water can lift up and say, hey, I want to be higher than this land and take back the land. We lost the whole city before, Port Royal, and it was nothing man. It was the sea that came in and took it away. I'm watching countless videos of avalanches, just big mountains, hillside, just slide, we're gone. Slide, we're gone, take the road with it, take people's houses with it. And this is from before when people are saying, no, you can't have the Chinese people them buy out that right there, and they buy it out and then dig it out and then they destabilize. It is like having a table that stands on 4 legs. You take away one of the leg from under the table is now unstable. It's the same effect that we're going to experience when they start mining in copper country and they start digging down more places to build up more sitting. You understand? You take away one of the legs from the table is now unstable. It depends on 3 legs. This is how we are looking right now. Australian company strikes gold in Guyana. I said to myself, Guyanese people, you're not going to benefit one good all from this. Okay? The higher ups, your politicians will get wealthier, those who struck the deal, just like in Jamaica. And then they have the nerve to talk about this can benefit Jamaica and shift its economy greatly. For who? For who? Whose pocket is that going into? Because it's not going to benefit the average Jamaican. The average Jamaican will not see a penny from this. They're going to go take some of the Jamaican people them and walk out them soul case in the mines that they're about to do. And then they're going to pay them not enough money for them to do anything else with their life. They'll just be happy that, yeah, me have work, me have little money are coming in. And guess what? When they're done mining and digging out and destabilizing and frigging up, and they leave and take all that with them that they found there, and now they're wealthy and happy in their private jets and their mansions, you will be left again with no employment. But on top of that, you will be left to live through the consequences of what they left you with. So who exactly is he talking about when he says this could shift Jamaica's economy greatly? What? Provide cheap labor for a couple of people for however long? Jamaica will never be the same again. Jamaica will, listen to me, Jamaica will never be the same again. I don't know if people understand what time we are living in, but you see, let me see how to put this to you now. Your influencers or your people on social media that have a platform, these people have to be careful, because even me saying something to you about it is me putting me at risk. You have to understand that when you become a whistleblower, or when you're somebody that is willing to wake up the masses of the people, say, yo, this Aguan, pay attention, look. They know that if they silence you or get rid of your platform, that highly unlikely that anybody else is going to take that. Especially if they do it in a way where it scares others. People have been hurt before. People have been killed before. People have been scared and ran off before. Because you have to understand that what they seek to gain from these projects, what they seek to gain from this is way bigger. Is way bigger than what you're talking about. So they don't care about no lives. The place will reconstruct itself in their mind. These people will be gone. We want them off the land anyways. Because imagine the luxury stuff that we could build up here, and we'll have people flying in and paying thousands and thousands of dollars, US dollars and pounds to stay in these lavish chateaus in the hills and all that. They want you off that land any damn ways. So I go. To see us, though, actually sit here and be silent while your PM is on Instagram talking a bunch of nonsense, and to see some of the same people over there, oh, I just love you so much, Mr. Prime Minister. I thought elected officials were elected to do a job. We have a list of things that they should accomplish in their time in office. And if they do not accomplish these list of things which they ran on, which they promised the people, but you know, political promises are the worst kind of promise. That is just to comfort the fools. And then they get in based on these promises and they just do what they want to do. But to see it happen and then to see the same people turn around and actually vote for the same people to continue to do the same thing. I remember Queen Ifrica and a couple of others went to go have some meeting with Andrew Holness about the cockpit country mining thing. And I was one of them that said, people in these positions, they speak to the average people as if I'm about it. I'm standing up for something. And then when that man stands in front of them, it's all praise and worship. And even if they're going to say, yo, the cockpit country, something there is a no-go. I don't care what you say. And I will try to rise up all my people against you. As in, don't vote for him, don't support him. He's killing us. He's about to do it. No, they go in front of him and you're right, honorable sir, Mr. Prime. Them just get smaller and smaller until it turns into one of these. Come, let me invite you over to a meeting. And they went into that meeting. Now, I'm not talking bad about Queen Ifrica, you know. I don't want nobody to get it twisted. I love her music. I think she's a powerful woman. I'm just using an example because she was doing a concert when Andrew Holness walked in. And I remember her turning around and saying, oh, the Prime Minister is here. And she did stop in the middle of the concert and she said, you know, she have some things what she want to talk about and get off her mind, but she never went in depth in details. And when I watched it, I thought, that couldn't have been me on that stage with that microphone, because it would have been like, pull up, band. Oops. All right, Mr. Prime Minister, since you're here in front of all of us, let me just address this real quick. It's like they let the opportunity go by to where they could have said something and they don't say nothing. And then they get invited into these private meetings because of who they are. They're celebrities. They get invited into these private meetings and they come out the private meetings silent, quiet. Then they come out of the meeting and say, well, we actually got him to sign off on this that said there will be no mining in cockpit country. Nope. And from they did that meeting and they came out and everybody started talking like, you know how they talk round and around and around in circle, but they never get to the point. I said something is wrong. Mining is going to be happening in, go look at my old videos. I said mining is going to be happening in cockpit country. Because them come out of the meeting too silent. And sure enough, headlines. It is a go. The deal's been signed. The machines are probably already there on the ground. they're ready to go. I'm going to do some more research because I actually want to find out who owns these companies that are going to be doing the mining. May I ask deeper questions because it gone bad already. Majority of the people have already shown that they're not interested in standing up for that. Somebody said Buju Fat flashing the Illuminati sign. Man, listen. Oh no, a lot of you like to get caught up in sensationalism and how you know is an Illuminati sign. Remember the video, for those of you who've been on long enough, remember the video where I said the world is ruled by signs. The world is ruled by signs and it is not ruled by laws. And a lot of people, it flew over your head. There are signs that mean different things to different people. You see the sign and say it's an Illuminati sign. To a next person that's wearing it is just a sign on a t-shirt that they like. To a next person that's wearing it is actually what them believe in. And it means something totally different from what you think it means. The swastika. The swastika. When I saw my sister tattooed the swastika on her, I said, my sister is deeply intelligent, especially in that stuff. So why she tattoo one white supremacy sign on her? And she's doing a lot of traveling, between continents. I'm like, you're going to have to go travel with that. And it's like right there, big. So after digging and doing some research, the swastika actually is what she is, what she represents. The swastika is actually the origin of the swastika is not what it is today. Just put it that way. It has an African origin and it means something totally different than white supremacy. So when you come and talk about Buju flash up Illuminati sign and all these things, don't mix me in them conversation there. Don't mix me in those conversations. Me know, if I had any inclination, I'm not a star worshiper, okay? Because I think I'm a star myself. So I not worship no other man, human, as no exalted above me kind of thing. Don't expect me to drop down in the street and, oh, you him that? Oh, I'm out my skin, except is another man. But at the same time, I understand the importance of putting out certain type of information and side skirting certain things. I don't want to do no damage to my brother and have people start turning away from him because I'm over here preaching that him join Illuminati and him a flash Illuminati sign. I don't have no proof that that's Illuminati sign and what that means to Illuminati. So these things can be dangerous what you're doing. You see what I'm saying? Can be dangerous what you're doing. And bigger than that though, yeah, just like somebody just said, come off of the Buju thing with the Illuminati thing because we have way bigger things to talk about. And this is how we get distracted. While we're over here talking about Buju flash Illuminati sign, they're over there digging out cockpit country. And then when we go to the beach one day and we see dead fishes start floating up all around us, and we wonder why the water smell like sewage, and you're like, yo, this is my favorite beach, I want to go on. And when the beach start take over the land, like out of Helsha, when I was growing up, Helsha Beach was way out there. And that was my favorite beach to go. Because what I used to do is I used to walk out, and then we would take pictures way out there, and it would look like you went deep out into the ocean when you could walk far. A little youth fling a buckle and bust a next little youth head that was standing right next to me, and the water red up around me. And I didn't know what bust his head at first, so I take with myself, right? But that was the experience I remember. But at that same time, I remembered how far out we used to be able to walk. 2019, when I visited Helsha again, Go over there, go get some festival and fry fish and them thing there and sit down by the water. I was surprised to see almost no beach there. You have the stall them that sell the food and you have the water right there. In some cases, the water just beating up against the thing. So what that tells me is that soon all those stalls will be gone as well. And what is behind that is road where people drive on. So when the road gone, because the sea come in, so we have bigger things to talk about other than who a flash what kind of sign. I remember one time I did a video and me do something like this. Not consciously. Actually, I was talking about a man that was peeping. A man that was peeping into somebody's room. And I did like this. I said, watch him now. In there, peep on it. I don't know. When me do this, my thing reach all over. Yes, SouFLoTV, sell him soul. See that? This is the sign. Him just put the sign them up. We have more things that are more important to talk about. Okay? We have more things that are more important to be aware of. When you go to the beach and dude will float up next to you a couple of years from now, don't be mad. When you land on the island and you smell something smell like sewage, don't be mad. When people start saying, oh, Jamaica smells so like, yo, it carries a funny smell. I don't know if they cleaned up France, but the last time I was there, France actually smelled like it had like a sewage kind of smell going on there. I don't know if it's just where I was the day I was there or what, or the week I was there. I was there for a weekend. I was there. But when these things start happening is when people are going to start talking about, oh, and the cockpit country where them dig out where were you when we were trying to stop it? Where were you when we were speaking out loud against it? Where were you when people was telling us to shut the hell up and go inside and stop make the place look bad and stop talk negative about the place when we were trying to save the place for generations to come? Where were you? A lot of Jamaicans fly out, right? And they're very comfortable in other lands, and they feel like this is where, you know, I plant roots right here. That means my children are going to be born here, my grandchildren are going to be born here. It don't make no sense to me go back. I just want to keep up with what's going on there. I'm probably flying on a vacation, go stay in an all-inclusive. That ain't my Jamaica. Not for me. And not for many others. I'm staying all-inclusive already because I wanted to see what the experience was like. Not because I had to. And to tell you the truth, me left. Right? It was like having a room but not going there kind of thing. Only time we went there is when it was time to fly back out. Because I'm all over the place. I actually thought that was a waste of money. Because I feel it when I come back a foreign. I know say a little $2,000 and change gone in something that I could have kept and spend it on something more meaningful here. So me don't want to live in that kind of Jamaica there. I don't want to live in that kind of a Jamaica, but it looks like we don't have a choice because the people have let it happen. They have choose to be more concerned about entertainment, or what them call entertainment then, than they are about real life issues. There's nothing wrong with balancing. There's nothing wrong with balancing. There's nothing wrong with balancing. There's nothing wrong with go watch some foolful content. It's okay. Me do it too. Sometimes I just want to take my mind off the monotony of the grind of always being serious and always looking into, but you don't stay stuck there to the point where you start to ignore when serious things are happening that you and yours are going to pay the consequences for. These people who are in charge, who we have elected to run things, they already have their exit plan. Most of them own houses and land in other countries already. So when it hits the fan, they don't even have to pack nothing. It's okay, buy to that piece of land and buy to that mansion. May have one more over so. Or when it hits the fan, Well, honey, you know, we can move back to Florida and rent that out to dignitaries when they come in or when they fly into Jamaica. I don't know if you saw the next headline that came out yesterday about 1 point something billion dollars, which is millions and millions and millions of US dollars that are supposed to be used now. And this project is already underway as well, to build a new, I don't want to talk foolishness, but it's a place name where all the politicians meet at. And this is where they lobby, and this is where they, for lack of better word, you know what I'm talking, parliament, one parliamentary building. Hundreds of millions. Which will work out to billions of Jamaican dollars, is about to be used to build this new building. Now, me I said to myself, sir, the hospital them need upkeeping. They need to be brought up to speed. Just the hospitals, just restructure some of them hospitals they even need lick down and rebuild over. But since we've already built it and we know it's a concrete structure, how about refurbish them? Fix them up and refurbish them, and then furnish them with modern day technology and invest that money into our own bright minds so they can run those modern day technologies. But you know what? Nope, not do it. This is why they're not doing it, because they already have their way out. Listen to me now. They already have their way out. Don't you notice that anytime anything happened to any of them, what do? They disappear from the island. Oh, where is Edward Siaga? Because JLP people love him so much. Oh, he's in the US getting treatment. Oh, where is so-and-so? We haven't seen him in a while. Oh, he's been off the island. He is in England getting treatment. So when them get sick, they have the resources to go overseas. And they don't only go overseas, they go overseas to the best doctors that are overseas with all the equipment and the modern day technology and training they have there. Wouldn't somebody who meant the country any good make sure that that stuff is situated in the country so they can lead by example? So when them get sick, them can say, yeah, KPH me there. But, you know, KPH top floor is reserved for dignitaries and so and so. It would give the people some peace of mind, right? Because the people that say, yo, we might not have everything good here, but we definitely have good health care. So, and it's so good that even our prime minister, this is where he goes, but he goes to the top floor, right? All the dignitaries, when them get ill, when their kids get ill, them go to top floor. But we are get the same treatment. Wouldn't it be great to see that? Isn't that what someone who actually really cares about the people? You have to understand, you know, we are viewed as people that are passing. So if you're in your 50s, 60s now, then people are say, me don't know nobody will live past 120, so another 50 years that done. So they're signing deals that last 50, 60, 70 years. Is who gonna pay for all that? Don't you see that they're putting your children and your grandchildren and your grandchildren's children into servitude before they're even born? Before they are even born. Lord, that deal that we signed with China from 1900 when? China still not get back its money yet, so them have we in a stranglehold. All when you dying, well, your grandpicking them will have to pay it off. This is not made up stuff. This is real stuff. The sad part is they're printing this information and passing it out in front of us, and we really skip the page. I'm gonna talk about, oh, look past Spice, man. I wish you there. Oh, them said she there. I where that? That look like which island that? So I'm all right. And boy, Macadam put out new song, and we literally skipped the page. So it's not. It's gotten to the point where now it's not like said them are gonna say, oh, they hid this from us. At a certain point, you can't blame them. At a certain point, you have to stop blaming the enemy. It's just like when we hear people talk about, oh, slavery and 400 years ago, and that is why our mindset is like this. You had a long ass time, okay? You already know what the deal is. It is imperative to your survival to adjust and overcome. But instead, you pass down the same sad ass message. So in 2020, we still have people who ain't doing too well, and they literally lean on that crutch. Well, you know, this is the way it was set up for us, because when slavery first took, like, brother, why you keep going to jail? Why you keep volunteering yourself for modern day slavery? Well, man, you know, it's the way it was set up. You know what I'm saying? They don't want us to be nothing, so I gotta gut, like, we have to come off of that mindset then. Cockpit country, they're going to mine it, people. They're going to dig it out and drill it out. The lungs of the country. Again, think of the human body and think of your lungs and what your lungs do. It is what cockpit country does for Jamaica. So think of the consequences when you start mining it out. If I puncture one of your lungs right now, what will happen to you? Talk up. If I puncture one of your lungs right now, what happens to you? Shout out to the Raging Bajan. Raging Bajan. I like that name there. Thank you, Raging Bajan. Manners and respect. Raging Bajan says, Jamaica people, please don't stay distracted with party politics. It's a European ploy, and rife with corruption. The government is employed to serve you, but they don't. What do you do with an unproductive employee? What do you do with an unproductive employee? Thank you for that, Raging Bajan. What do you do with an unproductive employee? And this is what I was saying before, is that the people don't know how to fire an unproductive employee. They actually fall in love with them. They actually reward them for underperforming. Imagine that. So it's at certain point, you can't even blame the politicians anymore. Because listen up, these politicians that grow up, per se, in Jamaica, they are just like us. They grew up right there. And a lot of them did not grow up with no gold spoon in their mouth either. They fought their way into their positions that they're into. So when they finally reach some level of prominency, and they look back and they see the journey, and they see how many people they tried to wake up that did not wake up, and they see how things kept on going a different way, even though they were fighting so hard trying to enlighten so many, they're looking back and they're saying, well, rotted. Well, if they like being taken fools of, and if I try wake them up, them try crucify me, well, here what? May I jump in that up, and I'm gonna get my share of what I give out over there also. I will make sure that I send my kids to the best schools. I will make sure that I live the lavish life, and I will make sure that I have an escape plan and an escape route for me and my family. That's what it comes down to. I can't imagine anything but them. Some of them have goodwill or good intentions, but saw that the minds of the people are already gone. And we pass this ignorance down generation after generation after generation. It's still interesting for me to see my mother born PMP. How your mother fi born PMP? My granny a PMP, or my daddy a JLP, my mother a JLP, everybody part my family a JLP. Me born come see JLP, I run the place, and that me say, show off in life. Even highly intelligent people speak like that, you know. JLP for life, PMP for life. Not JLP for as long as they're able to serve the best interests of the country. And when they can, kick them out and get PMP in, or go support that independent party that has laid out their agenda before you. Hop on the two bandwagon, them JLP or PMP, and we keep going from one to the next one, to the next one, to the next one. And then they're like two tennis players that and wear the ball. And then just a battle from side to side. So because it's the same thing on both sides. One side just pretty it up a little bit more, and then they get in there and they do the same exact things. And again, the country sees no benefit, really. Oh, and I'm going to give you good road. Good roads are nice. They're not nice when your health is failing. They're not nice when more cancer cases start coming out and we're matching countries that, like the US has, like obesity is our thing in the US. Cancer is our thing in the US. We can't afford to take on this. Diabetes is our thing in the US. Listen, Jamaica has hit a new high when it comes to amputation of the limbs. And you know, it's funny that I should say that because my grandmother just had her leg amputated, but my grandmother's leg was amputated for, and sometimes that's why I question this whole God thing and all this, because this woman, she wasn't diabetic. She eats off of her land. She's in her 90s. She sit down too much. You know, you get older, you stop move around so much, them kind of thing there. Sit down too much. Apparently a blood clot formed, blood clot lock off main artery that supply blood to the leg. She then went and hit her. She walked around our house barefoot, went and lick her toe upon, you know, you lick your toe upon the edge of the couch or the table or something. One of them. Wait, even though you're a Christian. That she said, oh, I just my toe buck and, you know, it ruptured the toenail and thing, it'll get better. And because she left it there and there's no circulation to that leg, and then the toe turned black or start getting discolored, and it went on and on and on, and she not really paying attention to it. So she wasn't a part of that. Amputation can come other ways. I'm talking about amputation because of diabetes. It is at an all-time high. We're not going to look it up. It is at an all-time high in Jamaica. We are now importing more than we export, and we are consuming more foreign foods than we are consuming local supply. Who designed that? Who designed that? And make it worse, they are not updating the institutions, the medical institutions, the hospitals. They're not flying no new equipment that's 2020, up to date, up to speed. It's crazy that when you go there, you hear, oh, we have one of those machines on the island and it's located on the other side of the island. And you're like, but I'm over here. Mirrored. Is not every hospital have one? No. It should be the goal then that every hospital has one, and not only has that, but also has trained technicians. I don't know. You know, I tell people, so many people joke sometimes and them say, SouFlo, why you not gonna run for some kind of political position? No. Because they don't want people like me in there. They don't want my kind in there. Who you know on either side of the aisle that speaks like this? I'm not gonna go put on no suit and tie and then speak differently from how I'm speaking now. You know, sometimes I'm tempted to do certain things because it gets disheartening when you talk out your soul case to your people and you find different ways to present it to them, and it still reaches nowhere. And then you see the same things happening over and over again, and the same people that you're trying to reach are supporting those same people that are against them, but they're smiling. So because him get a nice haircut and you know him skin light and him eye them green and him can put on some nice suits. They're more concerned about that. My Prime Minister fitting. Yo, I laughed myself to sleep one time when during the election when me see the amount of woman them. Now me not say if you find the man attractive or your business that me not find man like that. But your business that. But to see the topic that was being discussed, and then I went to the comment section, let me see what the people them have to say. the amount of comments that were there that had no, I think Andrew Holness was chopping a coconut or something. And him they have on, I don't know, some tight t-shirt or marina or something like that. I don't know. But the topic, the topic was that had nothing to do with, but for sure, in the comment section, nobody addressed what the topic was. The woman them that they talk about, me da give my one, you know. Yeah, me da give my one ride and them cat. Cause the man body look strong. Fit to lead, Mr. Prime Minister. Fit to lead. After seeing like an overwhelming amount of those comments on a topic that I thought was something serious, me just click off it. Cause me say, yo, them people are lost. It don't make no sense to me go over there and put anything there because they all attack me. So how about sometimes I am tempted to just, you know what, SouFlo, just keep what you know for you, elevate yourself, take care of your family. But it's hard to do. It's hard to do. Watching, it's hard to do. Like the girl, Kaylan. Y'all know the Kaylan story, right? Little girl go to fight at Don's illegal party. Go help our girl, our homegirl, fight others over man, kind of thing. That was the story. How it started out. All right. There's a post on Instagram that said, so she has not had an MRI yet. This was what was published in the papers. She has not had an MRI up to this point. Now, I'm thinking someone was beaten into a coma by multiple people, right? They describe how Hennessy bottle, you ever pick up a Hennessy bottle? Hennessy bottle, heavy, you know? It's a thick glass, you know? Or them beat her in her head with Hennessy bottle and then stomp her head when she was on the ground and all kind of things. I would think that 11 days into being in a coma, that an MRI was already done. So I left a comment and I said, at this point, shouldn't an MRI be already done? And I went on further to say, you know, recently my son had to go to the hospital and it was middle of the night thing. And he required a stomach and a pelvic x-ray, right? And they brought the equipment into our room. Here are the people them. Hello, SouFlo. Do you even know what an MRI is? Do you know what MRI equipment look like? Me never said the people them bring MRI equipment into the room, you know. And mind you, when I do OT, I work in a medical setting. So I myself have had an MRI. So I replied and I said, if you paid attention to my channel where I covered this, you will know that I said my son required an x-ray. Remember when Mr. the lady, the technician stepped so far out the room because she had the extension for it. She stepped out the room. She was doing the x-ray from in the hallway. And I said to myself, this woman never even tell me to move out of the way. So if it's so dangerous that she have to do it from out the room, why didn't she tell me to step out the room too? But the fact that it was available and the fact that it was considered in a medical emergency situation, there's a little 2-year-old he would go silent and then he would go, oh, oh. And I'm like, I've never seen Kai like this before, right? So to them, it was something serious as well. They treated it like a medical emergency is what I was trying to tell my people. Them treated it like a medical emergency and they brought the equipment in. In other words, then, Why haven't they brought her? Go look over there upon the comment how the people them just dep on me. Him a idiot, him don't know what I talk about, and so aggressive, and don't even take time to read properly and understand what was said. So 11 days. Correct me if I'm wrong. For those of you who live in the UK, Canada, or the US, if someone is beaten into a coma on Monday, would it be 11 days later that they were doing an MRI, or wouldn't this have been done like immediately? Then here's some of my people them to me. For those of us who work in the medical field, we know that she cannot be moved right now. Man, we move mangled bodies off of the field in combat. And then the medics take over and move them and move them and move them. Until they get to, so what are you talking about? You can't move them. Shouldn't she have had an MRI by this point? But this is what I'm talking about. When them something here, if anything like this, first of all, them people here, their kids are not going to be into none of this, because they are far away from the Bugoyagas. That's what they call it. And then we're trained to respect their children, because you know, Ufa son that, right? Yo, yeah, Mr. Matalan son, I Matalan them. Oh, okay. Yeah, them people have money, you know, and worship them. The girl should have had an MRI already. It should have been priority. So she got beaten to a coma, and now she's getting poor ass care that they're trying to excuse as everybody is doing what they're supposed to do. 11 days later, time is of the essence when you're in that condition. So all this money that I spend and I dig out of the place, where's it going? Because their houses seem to be getting bigger. They just put out something 2 days ago. I just flip past it very flippantly, flip past it. But it was another politician in Wem houses like $300 and something million house, and this makes front page as if this is to tell the people we rule over you. We do as we will. Do as thou will is our agenda. Yeah, man, my $300 and something million house. I don't know what kind of house that. Because, you know, a nice $10 million house is a nice house. People have said, SouFlo, $10 million can't buy no house. A nice $20 million house is a nice $50 million house is a nice house. $300 and something million house. And them constituency that they're governing, if your car lick one of the pothole them in there, so it lost. And it's been that way since before I was growing up, right? Funny to go back and watch stuff that's been going on for decades. Because when we did younger, we used to hear elders talk about it. A long time them something they are going, and we growing up with fire, because we grew up with fire, you know, people. So me growing up with fire now, I used to say stuff like, all them get all on call up. Them tired to fight the fight. And they weren't doing it effectively. So them just join whoever beat them. But damn, it look like my kids are gonna come say the same thing about me. Because the masses of the people believe that they are really powerless. So them just sit down there and take what them get. Back to cockpit country. How the hell can you okay mining in cockpit country? How can you okay? I'm waiting, and I want this is what I want y'all to do. Not only do I want you to go support the sister, I'm gonna put our link in one more time. I'm gonna be running some ads for her channel because I really, really like her channel. And me, I'm big on cooking. So if you like fry your chicken, but you don't really know how to get that extra crispy crunch up on the outside, or if what you have, if you don't know if you do the red pea soup properly, or you might see a different way or whatever, go check her channel out, right? I'm gonna post her link again right now, right there. Go check out our channel. I want to see about 100 people over there when I'm done with the show. I want to see Andrew Holness hold a press conference. I want to see him hold a press conference where he explained to us why he okayed the mining in Cockpit Country. After all the protests that have been going on, after the... Let's not talk about the petition. He's the same one that said, sign the petition. And when you sign the petition, they'll send it to this place and I'll pay attention to it because we have invested money in designing this system where important issues can be put into a petition form and you sign the petition. Welcome to the petition, sir. Because the petition, they have a whole heap of signatures on it. People come out and march in the streets about it. People from all over the place are talk about it. People that are not even Jamaican are begging you not to do it. Cockpit Country is Jamaica's Amazon. I'm not talking about Amazon because no fan know Amazon online. So that's the Amazon I talk about. I'm not talking about Amazon where you shop online. The Amazon jungle. Go and find out the importance of the Amazon jungle. Cockpit Country is Jamaica's Amazon jungle. Jamaica is so blessed that we're blessed with our own Amazon jungle. Our own natural filtering system. As is the lungs to the body where oxygen is concerned. You know what happened to people when oxygen is deprived. For all my medical people in here, intelligent people in here, what happens to the human body when oxygen is deprived? You know what I'm saying? And he okayed this. So you okay this for what? These people are okaying these things, and correct me if I'm wrong. I don't really want to accuse nobody, but I don't see any other way. Go on up there, go dig. Anything you find, we split it. Exactly, Paula. Go on up there, go dig. And anything you find up there, we split it. We will go and tell the people them say we have found nothing. Until 5 years down the road, when them print out his net worth, and you're like, Ross, then how feel net worth jump from 1.5 mil to 105 mil in 5 years? How am I do so? Sell out, sell out, sell out, sell out, sell out. Everything sell out. Everything sell out. Here, Budget say, go look on the video, you know, because although the part of the video where Budget was saying him now wear no mask, we got more caught up in that than anything else. You might have missed the part where he said, Jamaica on a sell on a vote. On a sell on a vote. So right now, remember when him said anything can happen like that? And shortly after, Cockpit Country mining is okay. Isn't Cockpit Country, by the way, wait there. No, Maroon land that. Isn't that Maroon's land? Isn't that supposed to be a protected area, period? Wow. Yo, I'm done. I'm done. I'm gonna go talk to Andrew. Sir, Right Honorable Andrew Holness, sir. I know that you are not responsible solely for the whole heap of foolishness, sir. But you genuinely could have came and made a difference. You genuinely could have came and did way better than those before you. Sir, you're not do it. You're uncaring as ever. You are uncaring as ever. And I'm brave enough to say it. I see it. I'm not the only one that see it, but I can say it. I believed in Andrew so much because I thought, okay, young blood in, you know, fresh new ideas. He's definitely going to incorporate the young minds and invest in our young minds, not the minds, not dig minds, invest in our minds and develop for players and with people. And then just sit back and just watch this thing unfold is like, wow. Wow. Wow, my brother in here, out of many people, me see him said Try Trucking in the building. I don't know if he's in here, but big up to Try. I'm so proud of you, man. I'm so proud of you. I follow your channel and I'm watching the progress. And I'm not a trucker and I'm not into trucking, but you draw me right in. You actually make me feel like I should be into trucking. And I think your delivery is excellent. Your whole channel is something that is needed. You see? So big up yourself and continue to do your great work. You're empowering and you're educating at the same time. I'm like that. Wow. That's all I can say. It gives me chills. I'm mad as hell. But I have to keep my composure. Cause I really want to come on here and take off my hat and just cuss too. But what good is that gonna do? Me expressing my anger and how angry I am that they have okayed mining to be done in cockpit country, and not gonna stop it from happening. People are just gonna take the video and say, look at him losing himself. Oh, look at the language he's using. You know how them do already. Instead of paying attention to the message, they'll pay attention to look what his hand just did. Even though me I said the man did a peep through the window. See that? He might throw up Illuminati signs. Damn, Jamaica, man. Damn. Damn. That's all I can say. Damn. Sad, man. It's so sad to make you want to freaking cry. The tea cool. Some turmeric and ginger. I'm going to mash up some fresh garlic in it. No sugar. Trying to keep my body healthy. If y'all don't see what's going on in Jamaica, man, then on a blind as hell. And if you can't at least use your thumbs to go bombard somebody's page on IG and voice your displeasure, then I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know what else to tell you. Maroons still live there. That's the thing. This is not like, oh, these people existed 200 years ago on the island. Maroons still live there. The Macominite people in place come mine. Not to mention when all that dust and dirt start flying around in the air and smoke, cause them a burn down land and all these things in order to excavate. And the people them sit down there and just inhale everything. Cause where are they gonna go? Y'all watch what's about to happen. Watch what's about to happen. Jamaica will never be the same again. Remember, I'm gonna tell you that. I'm gonna leave this video right here for the morning because I could feel myself getting like really upset to when me really want to start, like really say how me really feel. So I'm gonna just leave this video right here so y'all can watch the video and talk to each other about it. But if you don't do anything, use your fingers because it's easy to do and it take about 5 minutes of your time. Go find them on social media and you know who I mean when I say them. Go straight to the head. He might not be the one that runs that account, but trust me, enough of us show up over there, they'll pay attention. The problem is enough of us aren't showing up on the things that are important. So they feel like, the majority The majority is with it. And just a few stragglers where I make noise. So don't pay them no mind. So go voice your displeasure if you're really concerned. Man, we're done. Antigua the same. Beautiful, beautiful Antigua. Them say Antigua have 365 beaches, one for each day of the year. Literally established beaches. You think them people here don't want your things? Hmm? Them tired of digging themselves out of snow when winter time come. Them tired of living in places where the tree them don't even grow fruits. Because they made the land not fertile, or their land is just not fertile because of their weather changes. Them tired of living which part them live. The goal is to colonize and capitalize. It's us have to make sure that we're not the pawns in the process. But we are the pawns in this process because we have leaders that have sold us as pawns in this process. We're done. Catch y'all on the next video tomorrow. Manners and respect everybody that tuned in. Big up yourself if you at least dropped a thumbs up on this video. Show some appreciation, I guess, if you feel like it. It's kind of like what I talk about all the time. It's 1,000 people on here currently watching. There's 280 thumbs up here. So, you know, it's like 600 and something people that are sitting there that won't even do a thumbs up. This is exactly how it is when they put the petitions out, or when them say make we go march, or when we say go over here so I'm typing this. 1,000 people see you do it or watch you and hear you, and about 600, 700 of them go about their business like they don't even care no more. So when it starts really coming down to the bad part, Lord, why don't you smell so? Yo, we got beach the other day, see all heap of dead fish them will float up. Yo, when it get to that point now is when you hear everybody, then you will hear the 1,000 speak up. But guess what? It'll be too late. Okay? This work really is draining. I'm out. Peace. One love, people. One love. In all things, just keep love. It is love that allows me to do this because I have a genuine love for me, my people. One love. Catch you tomorrow morning on the next episode of Morning Thoughts. I'm out. Peace.